Welcome to the Money Flow. I am Faaria Tasin, economist and host of this show, and today we are discussing the importance of energy in achieving Bangladesh's economic aspirations. Now, Bangladesh rightly aspires to become an upper middle income country by 2031. Investments and economic activities are expected to increase, and the role of energy will be at the forefront for realizing Bangladesh's economic aspirations. Now, what kind of opportunities do we see in the energy sector? What would the energy mix look like in the next decade? How is sustainability playing a role in energy production? To answer these questions, we have Eric Walker, President of Chevron Bangladesh. Eric Walker is on the board of directors at Foreign Investors Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He's a board member at the U.S. Bangladesh Business Council and executive committee member at American Chamber of Commerce. Now let's go straight into the discussion. Eric, thank you so much for coming to my show.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
We know that Chevron is the largest producer of natural gas in Bangladesh and accounts for 60% of the total natural gas production. Tell us about Chevron's journey in Bangladesh.
Oh, thank you very much for asking. Chevron has been here in Bangladesh for 28 years. We've been a proud partner, partnering with the Ministry of Oil and Gas and Petrobangla. During that time, we've now produced 3 world-class assets here in Bangladesh, in Bibiana, Jalalabad, and Malubazar fields. We have 530 employees here. We have about 2,000 contractors, and we currently account for half of the natural gas needs of the country. In saying that, Chevron as a company, we've invested $3.6 billion in Bangladesh in the past 12 years. Half a billion of that has been from local vendors as well. So we take great pride in developing the economy here and what we've done here in our growth journey in the energy sector in Bangladesh.
Okay, that's great to know. Now, Eric, Bangladesh's economic aspiration, as we know, is to become an upper middle income country by 2031 and a developed country by 2041. Now, private investments, economic activities are expected to rise, and the role of energy will be at the forefront for realizing these aspirations. Now, where do you see Bangladesh in 10 years, and what kind of opportunities do you think this will bring to the energy sector in Bangladesh?
Yeah, thank you. So Bangladesh's energy needs have been growing quite dramatically over the past 2 to 3 decades. For us here in Bangladesh at Chevron, since 2009, our production has doubled from 750 million cubic feet a day to 1.5 BCF a day. So that's quite dramatic and takes a lot of investment. Bangladesh's GDP has been growing at 6.2% a year and is expected to continue that trajectory for the next 20 years. With that, Bangladesh is going to need ever cleaner, affordable energy. And that energy need is expected to triple in that 20-year period. So it's going to take all mixes of energy to continue to power the growth here in Bangladesh.
Right. And that was my next question, that we know that the current energy mix in Bangladesh comprises mainly of natural gas. More than 50% of the electricity that is generated is through natural gas. Now, what is your prediction of the energy mix in the next, say, 1 or 2 decades?
Yeah, that energy mix will continue to evolve. I mean, here in Bangladesh, they continue to focus on that evolution. A lot of that evolution on the natural gas growth has been conversions of coal to natural gas, which is a much cleaner, lower carbon intensity fuel. Along with that, we know there's a nuclear power plant being built, but it's going to take all the energy mixes, whether it's going to be solar, wind, further nuclear. But it's all comprised. It'll take the full mix and range of energy mixes to continue to power Bangladesh into the future. Okay,
so you see a lot more of renewable energies, be it solar, wind, and things like that. And do you think Bangladesh has the capacity to do that, to venture into renewables?
So absolutely, Bangladesh has the capacity. Every country has the capacity to do it. The thing about it is it takes a full mix of it all to do it properly. Economically, the transition, those kind of going into those areas, takes a lot of investment, just like it does to continue to develop natural gas. So it takes the full mix of going into the future to continue with the energy needs of a country. No single source of it can do it all, is really where I like to say.
And it also puts the country in a risk if we are depending on one single source of energy.
Right.
Yes. Eric, tell us about Chevron's sustainable and green initiatives in energy production in Bangladesh.
Yeah, so for us here in Bangladesh, we look at, as a corporation, we continue to focus on a lower carbon intensity, and that's throughout our operations, not just in Bangladesh, but throughout the company. We take great pride on the fact that we are lowering our carbon intensity quite dramatically. We have for the past 5 to 10 years. Along with that, we're planning on investing $10 billion between now and 2028 throughout the world, and not only just lowering our carbon intensity, but developing the fuels of the future.
Is technology being used to do that?
Well, technology is the key driver.
Yes.
Technology is the key thing that Chevron brings. It's not just the technology that we have, it's the skill set of the people that implement that technology as well.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so for us in technology here, for us in Bangladesh here, we continue to use the technology of Chevron to continue to advance, further production here. We just installed a turbo expander in Bibiana field.
Can you tell me what that is?
Yeah, so turbo expander helps extract additional condensate out of a flow stream.
Okay.
So that came online in November, and now we're producing 2,000 barrels of condensate more here in Bangladesh with that. We continue also to evolve and developing the drilling program. So we will be bringing a rig into the country right now this month. That rig will start spudding in June. It's a big well for Bangladesh. That well, if it's successful, will spur on a development program that will account for about 30% of our production in Bibiana in 5 years from now. That well is a really complicated well to drill. It's about a 65-degree well angle, so it really
How long did that take to drill?
So it will be taking a couple months to drill.
Okay.
It'll be coming forward. But it brings in the expertise of our drilling program, not just here in Bangladesh for our local staff here, but really the drilling expertise of our company in Houston as well, so our entire drilling enterprise.
Okay. Now, Chevron does quite a lot of social work in Bangladesh. Tell us a little bit more about that.
That's the fun part for us. Like everywhere we go, we become the community that we live in. Not only in the local community, but the extended community. So Chevron has spent $15 million in the past 10 years on our social programs. That's impacted about 120,000 people. With those social programs, we really look at different aspects, not only just helping the local communities that we're a part of in our operations, but look at the sustainability of those programs and developing skill sets into the future so that when we stop supporting them, they continue to live and continue to be vibrant.
Okay.
It's really the skill set development that are the ones that I'm always most excited about, because that enables someone now to continue to thrive.
Okay. And what kind of skill sets are we talking about here?
Yeah, so through the Renewable project, but there's been multiple skill sets that we sponsored. We're ongoing sponsorships with the developing welders and world-class welders, not only for Bangladesh, but for the world, because those skill sets, now enable those folks to work everywhere. There's been skill sets in developing packaging, skill sets developing electronics repair. So I could list many others.
Okay, so these are all very much needed by the market today and very much relevant. So these are very good.
Absolutely,
Yes.
Absolutely. And a lot of the skill sets allow people to become entrepreneurs, right?
Okay.
So they end up working for themselves and developing small businesses. So, the social work that we do here in Bangladesh focuses on economic development, education, and healthcare. Here in Bangladesh, for economic development, we've had the Jubika project, which has impacted 22,000 community members, and developing that was launched in 2015 with the Brock initiative. We've also had the Udaran project, which is our skill development program with Swiss Contact. That's also been a skill development program in Sylhet, Mulubazara, and Hajibad. We've had the Utica project, empowering entrepreneurs. So you can see there's a theme there of really developing sustainability projects as well. We've also set up 2 clinics in Karampur and Sashimpur, along with 12 satellite clinics, that service 9,000 people a year. So the sustainability programs that we set in place, really we try to set them, not just for today, but also for tomorrow. Absolutely.
No, that is great to know. To complement what Eric just said, we're now going to watch a short clip on Chevron Bangladesh. Let's go watch it.
Every dawn brings a day full of hope and scope to shine. Every step creates the way. Every life on earth is divine. About 50 years ago, Bangladesh began its journey with the goal of becoming an exuberant country full of happiness. Often narrated as the queen of all countries by the countrymen, this beautiful land and the people has set an example for the world in recent times. It is a great tale of transformation, a story that has enlightened lives and enabled growth. And Chevron Bangladesh is a proud partner of this beautiful story for the last 25 years. The Chevron journey in Bangladesh began in 1995, and with time, it has become the partner of progress by fueling the nation. Here in Bangladesh and Petrobangla, through a partnership with the government, Chevron has been contributing to ensure energy sufficiency for the nation and taking part in the quest of emerging as a developed country by 2041. Chevron Bangladesh is the country's largest producer of natural gas and condensate and has produced an average of approximately 1.5 billion cubic feet per day to supply clean energy to Bangladesh. Chevron operates 3 fields: Bibiana, Jalalabad, Molvibazar, and the Muchai compressor station, and produces 60% of the national gas production and over 80% of condensate production in the country. As a proud partner of Bangladesh, Chevron has contributed with over $3.6 billion of foreign direct investment since 1995, including over $500 million in contracts with local suppliers and contractors in the last 12 years. More than 95% of the employees of Chevron are Bangladeshi nationals, with whom we are achieving remarkable success and world-class production efficiency. One of the core values Chevron embraces is to ensure furtherance of the planet and the people. The very fundamental philosophy of Chevron dictates on providing clean energy in an affordable price. Therefore, we have been innovating ways and initiating efforts to produce low-carbon, low-cost, scalable energy for Bangladesh. While we are making the best use of the natural resources to provide reliable energy for economic growth, we ensure safety of the employees and preservation of the environment and diversity. While Bangladesh and the people move forward, we walk the distance along with. In the last 25 years, Chevron has been working with the left-behind communities to ensure a better standard of living. We have supporting to enlighten the future through providing education to a large group of underprivileged children. Addressing to the burning need of the rural population, Chevron Bangladesh has successfully established facilities to provide healthcare to the marginal population. It has been a proud 25 years of contributing in developing the lives of the people here. Moving Bangladesh forward together. Advancing people, partnerships and performance has been the success in our 25 years journey altogether. We believe human ingenuity has the power to solve any challenge and overcome any obstacle. Chevron Bangladesh, moving Bangladesh forward together.
And now, Eric, we've already talked about the opportunities in the energy sector. And if Bangladesh wants to tap into more opportunities in the energy sector, what are the few areas that it should look into?
Yeah, so
Firstly,
Bangladesh is continuing. So we're working with like I said, we've been here 28 years. During that 28 period in developing gas fields, gas fields after a while, start to deplete, and you got to start finding new resources. We're partnering right now with Bangladesh and the Ministry of Oil and Gas and Power to look for new resources in our regions where we produce right now. We're also potentially looking offshore. Right now there's been an extended 2D shoot in offshore regions, and we'll be buying that data to see if there's, what opportunities there may be in the offshore. Along with that, I really think what the key thing for any government, and no matter where we are in the world, is the stability of not only just a fiscal regime, so that when you're investing, because when you invest with these things, we put in billions of dollars, it's very complicated, we invest in people to operate over time, so you got to have both a stable fiscal regime and a stable regulatory regime, and that's really critical.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the regulatory regime, like in terms of stability of certain regulations? Which ones do you think will help?
Yeah, I think the key on the regulatory things, mostly on that one, is we sign the contracts up front and just honoring the contracts we sign. And Bangladesh has done a great job with that. So we've not really had a lot of concerns. Labor laws continue to evolve, and those become a little challenging at times.
Okay. And what can Bangladesh learn from, say, other emerging markets?
I think the key with the other emerging markets is to stay the course on the fact of those like I discussed, on a stable fiscal and regulatory regime going forward. In that, we tell people always that, the key to investing into the future is the honor of the contracts that we have. And so Bangladesh has done a fantastic job. I've been here almost 3 years. I can tell you that we have now developed a growth model here in Bangladesh, which we're very proud of as an organization. And a lot of that is because of the stability of the fiscal and regulatory regime of the country. Okay.
And what is your overall opinion on Bangladesh's economic position and growth trajectory that we are trying to achieve?
Well, I find it amazing, right? I mean, you come here and all you see of Bangladesh in the world is what you see on the news. You don't get to come here and see actually the amazing progress. You don't get to come here until you come here and see the amazing people and the capability of the country. And that's really been really rewarding. I mean, I know for myself, not just in my organization where we have incredible staff, so, operating. Currently, we operate at about almost 98% with local staff.
Local staff. Okay.
And those are people that we've trained, not only trained here in Bangladesh, but now they work in other parts of Chevron.
Oh, that's great.
And I see that throughout Bangladesh in every company that I'm a part of and the organizations that I'm a part of here.
Okay. Eric, it has been wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
And that is all for today. Stay tuned. For our next show, we are going to have an exciting new guest.